Welcome to this week's Alchemy of Sound meditation. Inshallah, we are towards the end of the month of Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan are the holiest nights of Ramadan. And according to traditions, the 21st, the 23rd, the 25th, the 27th, or the 29th, one of those nights, these odd nights, is the night of power, Laylatul Qadr. And Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. So the night of power is better and more powerful than 1,000 months. So inshallah today we will contemplate the meaning of what does khair really mean. The understanding of khair. So Allah in the Quran says that the night of power, the night that the Quran was sent down in the cave to Sayyidina Muhammad via Archangel Gabriel, that night is more powerful than 1,000 months. How much is 1,000 months? It's roughly 1,000 months divided by 12. That's 83 years. 83 years. And 83 years is about the lifespan, the average lifespan of a human being today. So in one night, we are able to take benefit that is better than 1,000 months, or 83 years. So it is a time that is more beneficial to us than 83 years of our own life in simply one night. So inshallah we will contemplate the meaning of khair. What is khair? Khair in the Arabic word means goodness. It can mean goodness, it can mean benefit, it could mean betterment, but it is something that is of great value, something of great benefit, of great value. And khair simply means goodness. Anything that is good, that is beneficial to whether it's to our physical body, to our emotional body, mental body, or our spiritual body. Khair is an energy that is beneficial and nourishing to our well-being. So let us contemplate the meaning of khair and rizq. The word rizq simply means sustenance. And rizq means that something that sustains me. Now there is rizq that can be halal, and there is rizq that can be haram. Halal and haram. What does halal mean? Halal means permissible, and haram means forbidden. So there is rizq that is permissible, that is beneficial, that is ordained by God, and there is rizq that is not ordained by God. And if something is not ordained by God, that means it is coming from an unclean source. The source of that rizq is coming from an unclean source. And a halal rizq is coming with a blessing. It's coming from a clean source, and there is khair, there is great benefit from that kind of rizq. So there are two kinds of rizq, one that is coming from a clean source and one that is coming from an unclean source. Now, we're all living in a time, and especially today, where people are confused, people are looking for ways to sustain themselves. And these ways can sometimes be confusing. You know, if somebody's unemployed, or somebody's looking for a job, or somebody's simply looking to sustain his self and his children or his family or her family, it's coming to a time where there's a lot of confusion to how we can bring the cleanest source of rizq. And the Quran gives us an indication with the story of Moses. So in the story of Moses, Moses comes from a very powerful and wealthy family. He's an adopted son of the Pharaoh of Egypt. And Moses uh, grows up in the palace, and he has every kind of want. He has every kind of desire. Everything that he can think of is simply brought to him. But he grows up in a house of a tyrant. He grows up in a home where there is no halal rizq. So the sustenance that was brought to Moses was from an unclean source. Now, if we bring rizq from haram rizq, if it comes from shaitan, so if it comes from an unclean source, impure source, from the devil, and the devil has a lot of money. So the devil, there are a lot of people who actually make contracts with the devil, and they basically can sell their souls, or they can sell their values, or they can sell their beliefs for gold, for money. I mean, we know through history, for example, in the Bible, with the story of Jesus, and Judas betrayed Jesus for a few gold coins. So the gold is it can be attained, and money is something that is neutral. Money is something that can be used for good or for evil, or it can be brought from a clean source or through a unclean source, and that really depends on the transaction. So the transaction that Sayyidina Moses, did was that he was in an environment that was sullied, that was dirty, that was a very unclean energy where he grew up. And through the different events that happened, those events led him to the murder of a man. So he actually ended up committing a grave sin. He actually ended up, even though it was accidental, but it led him into a brawl, which led him into the death of somebody. And he committed a sin. Now, sometimes, and most often, taking unhalal or unclean rizq can lead the person into committing sins. And taking halal rizq sometimes, most often, leads you to taking what? The opposite of sinning, of committing good acts and committing acts of obedience to God. So that it's a double-edged sword, depending on the intention and depending on the source of that energy. That energy can pollute or can elevate your energy field for you to be committing the different corresponding acts. So in the chapter of Al-Qasas, in ayah 22, the story begins, وَلَمَّا تَوَجَّهَ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ وَلَمَّا تَوَجَّهَ تِلْقَاءَ مَدْيَنَ قَالَ عَسَى رَبِّي أَنْ يَهْدِيَنِي سَوَاءَ السَّبِيلِ. So here is Moses escaping from Egypt, a fugitive, running from the law, and he is escaping into the desert towards Jordan, what is today the country of Jordan, to the people of Midian. And Midian was a nation that was it was a monotheistic nation, and Jethro, the prophet Jethro, or Shu'aib in Arabic, was that messenger or a prophet that was sent to that community. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولما ورد ماء مدين وجد عليه أمة من الناس يسقون ووجد من دونهم امرأتين تذودان قال ما خطبكما قالتا لا نسقي حتى يصدر الرعاء وأبونا شيخ كبير. So he finds a well. He's on the road and he finds a well and he finds a crowd of people that are bringing water from the well. And he sees these two women standing outside the crowd. So the crowd and the crowd of shepherds, and most of them were men, and these two women were not able to reach the well and take the water. And they were upset and frustrated. So Moses comes to them and says, "What's wrong?" And they responded, "We are not able to bring the water, and our father is a shaykh kabir. He is a old man, and he can't help us take the water from the well." So the verse continues, فَسَقَى لَهُمَا ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ فَقَالَ رَبِّي إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٌ. So there is a great secret here, and God describes that he actually fasaqa, that means he brought them the water, he was able to bring them water, and it was of great effort, and he was tired, so he actually went to the shade. So after this strenuous effort of bringing the water from the well, he had to go to the shade. So this indicates that he actually put a lot of effort while providing this service. And after providing this service to these women, he said to God, Rabbi, inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. My Lord, from what you have, I am poor. I am poor, faqir. I am poor of what you have bestowed upon me of goodness. So he said, I am poor. Now, a lot of people today, especially in the New Age community, would say, oh, that's poverty consciousness right there. Why is Moses saying that he is poor? With all these affirmations that we have, abundance affirmations, and I am rich, and I am, money is flowing to me constantly. I am rich, I am abundant, I am super abundant, I am this, I am that. And one needs to be very, very careful from what source that energy is coming. So, a lot of this law of attraction, the laws of attractions are there, they're neutral, they apply here and there. But when using those affirmations of saying, I am rich, I'm abundant, I am this, I am that, fine, maybe it could work, and maybe you can end up increasing your prosperity. But what is the source of that prosperity energy? Is it coming from a higher source, or is it coming from a lower source? So Moses, he speaks directly and he calls upon God and he says, my Lord, I am poor to what you have brought down in goodness. So the secret here is the word I am poor. Because if he is poor and he acknowledges that God is the rich, Al-Ghani, one of the names, the 99 names of Allah is Al-Ghani. And energy always flows from a higher source to a lower source. That is how energy likes to flow. And if we sometimes put our boss, especially our workplace, any kind of God with the small g, besides God. So if we say, for example, oh, this job, I'm not having a good time in this job. The people there are really bad. They treat me really badly, but the money is good. The money is good, and therefore I have to just stick to it. So sometimes when we go against our own values and our own principles for the money, we take that source of income as a lord. We take that source of income as a lord, and that energy will flow into us, but we become lower. So we place ourselves lower than because we've seen that we are dependent on this job, this workplace, this boss for our rizq. And this can apply as well in a marriage, where if one of the partners is dependent on a person that they don't love, but they're only there for financial security, or if the person is not, not compatible or not spiritually compatible, especially, and they are there for only financial reasons, then you become in a way, you become a slave or a dependent on that person and that source of income. And that can bring as well that could be an unclean source of energy. But if you put your understanding and your reliance on Allah, that God is the creator of wealth, the creator of prosperity, and that you only ask Him for sustenance. So what happens? From a very high source to a very low source. When you say that I am poor and that you are rich and that you have and I have not, what happens to the flow? It starts moving really, really, really quickly. There is great dilation of energy, a lot of transfer of energy from a very high source to a very low source, and the energy can flow easily because you are receptive, because you acknowledge that God is the source of abundance, and the energy will have to move down to fill up that emptiness, that receptivity, that masculine and feminine, that active and receptive polarity that is created there. Now let's examine the verse again. This is verse 24 in surah Qasas. فَسَقَ لَهُمَا ثُمَّ تَوَلَّ إِلَى الظِّلِّ. So the condition here is that he actually had to open up his root. He had to actually do the work. He had to serve. He had to serve, and he did not depend. He didn't go to the women and say, okay, well, I'll bring you the water, but I expect a reward from you. So he actually just said, I will, or he coded them a price for that service. He simply said, I will provide you the water, and my ajr, my reward comes from God. So immediately after, he goes and he sits in the shade. So the second condition is selfless service. The second condition is strenuous service. So real work. There are a lot of people today who have a problem with money, and they say, okay, well, I'm poor. I'm just poor, and that rich people are going to go to hell and poor people are going to heaven. And there's almost this pride of their own poverty. And that is a very, very, very big mistake, because God will then say, okay, well, this person is crying for help the whole day, but he's not working. He's not putting any effort. He's not deserving of it. There are other people out there who are working hard, who are, pious and working hard, and they are actually deserving of that prosperity energy. So the actual work and strenuous effort and hard work is needed to open up the root center so that you can be able to even be in that flow, to be able to be in that flow. So it's incumbent that one has to do a lot of hard work before you can open up the root center. So the next verse says, فَجَاءَتْهُ إِحْدَاهُمَا تَمْشِي عَلَى إِسْتِحْيَاءٍ قالت إن أبي يدعوك ليجزيك أجر ما سقيت لنا. So interestingly, one of the women comes to him and walks to him in a shy way, and she says, my father is asking you to come for dinner. He's inviting you for dinner so that he can repay your service. He wants to give you a reward on what you did. فلما جاءه وقص عليه القصص قال لا تخف نجوت من القوم الظالمين. And when he came to him and he told him his life story and how he escaped from Egypt, then Jethro said, Shuaib said that you don't be afraid, you have verily evaded, you have escaped from the oppressing folk. قالت إحداهما يا أبتي استأجره إن خير من استأجرت القوي الأمين. So one of the girls said, Father, why don't we hire him? Why don't we employ him? Why don't we give him a job? So for all these unemployed people, right, if you're looking for employment, follow this recipe. She says, oh Father, why don't we employ him? إن خير من استأجرت القوي الأمين. So she said, the best one that you can hire is who? Al-Qawi and Al-Amin. So Al-Qawi means the strong, the capable, the competent, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy. And so if Moses was just trustworthy, but was not strong, was not physically strong, physically capable of doing the work, right, then they would not hire him. But if he was strong, if he took out the water from the well and then decided to take the water for himself, for example, then he would not be trustworthy. And these two conditions were the criteria towards that job. So trustworthiness and strength. And today it doesn't have to be physical strength. It could be mental strength. It could be, it just means competence, being competent in the thing that you want to do. Training. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال إني أريد أن أنكحك إحدى ابنتي. So now Shuaib responds to him and says, I want to propose to you that you marry one of my daughters and that you work for me for 8 years. And if you complete 10 years, then that would be great. That would be from you. And then he says something else. And I don't want to be, I will not be troubling for you. You will find me, what? Min as-salihin. You will find me, inshallah, min as-salihin. That means you will find me one of the righteous people. So he will be his boss, but he was also going to be his father-in-law. And that he's actually coming into a good family. He will come to a good family. He will come to a good workplace. And so this is another part of what we spoke about earlier about sustenance. That sustenance is not, so here he was minding his own business on the road, and he did this selfless act. And now, not only does he have a place to stay and a salary or food, but he has a wife. He has someone he could share his life with. So that is also khair, right? So goodness. So that's also a blessing to have a spouse, a family. And not only does he have a spouse, He has the money, or he has the food, he has a job, he has a wife, but also he has a father-in-law who is a prophet, who will guide him, who is Sayyidina Shu'aib. So he lost his family in Egypt, but now he's had a new family. God replaced his old family in Egypt, his adopted family or his foster family, and replaced them with a better family, a spiritual family, a family of God. And here he has Jethro as a father-in-law, as a teacher, as a guide. And then the verse continues, قال ذلك بيني وبينك أيام الأجلين قضيت فلا عدوان عليه والله على ما نقول وكيل. So he basically agreed, and they made the deal. And right after those 10 years, that is when Moses was ready to become a prophet of God. That is when the story of the burning bush, and he saw the flame, and he went towards the flame, and he heard the voice of God. So he had to go through those steps. He had to go through these different steps, and he had to be in the company of the pious. And that was the secret. That was the prerequisite for him going into fulfilling his destiny of becoming a prophet, was to be in the company of another prophet and learning about God and the message of God. So when we let go of our own ideas of what is good and what is bad, when we let go of these different understandings of what is wealth, and from the verses that we see, the greatest wealth that is there is what? It is health. And the second greatest wealth is trust. So health and trust are the two most important indicators of wealth. And both wealth and faith or trust are coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from God. So when we say to God, you have and I have not, you are al-ghani, you are the rich, and I am the poor, we create a strong flow, transfer of energy. But in the same time, we must do the work. We must be able to serve and do the work that we are competent of doing. Whatever work it could be, it doesn't matter. Anything that you're competent about and that you are trusting the people that you're going to work with, those are the two necessary conditions towards having that flow of goodness coming into us. Now, how do we know if a job or income is actually halal or haram? Well, it depends on the effects of that income. If that income takes us farther away from God, when it makes we end up committing sins, that is an indication that there's something wrong with that income. Because if we take income from shaitan, then shaitan will expect us to repay it in the form of sinning. So he'll say, I'll give you this money, but you have to pay it back in the form of sins. But if we take income from God, he will give us the money, but the barakah of the money will make it come back in the form of good deeds, of ta'at, of virtues. And so that is extremely, extremely important to make sure that there is a halal and tayyib. What is halal means permissible, but also tayyib. Tayyib means a good or pure. It is a pure source. It has a lot of um, purity in that source of income. ومن الله التوفيق. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير الضالين. So inshallah we'll begin our meditation. So I want everybody to close their eyes and take a deep breath. Imagine yourself walking on a long and sandy beach. And feel the wind blowing on your face, your shoulders, your arms, and your legs. And place your feet in the water, feeling the gentle waves moving now between your feet. Take a deep breath and take a step forward and feel the gentle waves moving now between your knees. Take a deep breath and take a step forward and feel the waves bouncing off your belly. Look out into the horizon and see the sun setting in the horizon, a beautiful orange disk, filling your body with a warm orange glow, loosening all fears, worries, anger, stress, down into the sea below. Take a deep breath and dive, 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 deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper into the endless ocean of emerald green light. Inhale the green light into your lungs and into your heart, your stomach, your belly, your arms, and your legs. Every cell and every pore within your body is now being purified by this brilliant emerald green light. Move your attention to your heart. Your heart center is a being of divine love, divine light, and divine power. Say words of peace and kindness to this being of divine love. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Wait for the response. Can you feel your heart expand with love and light and peace? The feeling is wonderful. Let us now invoke for divine love, divine light, and divine peace. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين Imagine a luminous white light flowing down from heaven into your crown, your forehead, your throat, your heart, your stomach, your belly, all the way down your spine, your knees, and your feet. Your body turns into a beautiful flute, a reed flute. Move your attention to your heart and imagine a brilliant white light at your heart. You are, and I am not. You are, and I am not. You are Allah, and I am not. You are Allah, and I am not. You are, and I am not. You are, and I am not. You have, and I have not. You have, and I have not. You have, and I have not. You know, and I know not. You know, and I know not. You know, and I know not. You are, and I am not. You are, and I am not. You exist, and I do not. You exist, and I do not. Luminous white light flows into your crown, with the divine breath blowing and blowing. Beautiful green and purple lights. flowing and blowing and blowing into your nai body, into your flute body, your heart aches as the divine breath resuscitates you and blows harder and harder into your chest. Woe upon me, as I moan and cry. I cry out to the power of His divine breath. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. My heart cries. Ooh, ooh, ooh. My heart cries. Ooh, ooh, ooh. My heart cries. Who am I? Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? I am, and you are not. I am, and you are not. The heavens and the earth cannot contain me. that the heart, your heart, can contain me. Oh, dearly beloved, will you awaken me? For I am your lover. Come to my side. I will open the gate to your love. Ooh. 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 Come settle with me, and let us be neighbors to the stars. You have been hiding so long, endlessly drifting in the sea of my love. Even so, you have always been connected to me. Ooh. 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 Concealed, revealed, in the unknown, in the unmanifest. Oh, dearly beloved, I am life itself, but you have been a prisoner of a little pond. I am the ocean and its turbulent flood. Come now, come, merge with me and leave this world of ignorance. Be with me. You will not have a friend like me. You will not find a love like me. Oh human, oh beloved, I will open the gate to your love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh Allah, you are closer to me than my jungular vein. I desire you more than food or drink. My body, my senses, my mind hunger for your taste. I can sense your presence in my heart. I wait with silent passion for one more gesture, one more glance from you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh Allah, you come to us from another world, from beyond the stars and a void of space, transcendent, pure, of unimaginable beauty, bringing with you the essence of love. You transform all who are touched by you. All concerns, troubles, and sorrows dissolve in your presence, bringing me joy. To ruler and ruled, to peasants and kings, you bewilder us with your grace. All evil is transformed into goodness. O Allah, you are the master alchemist. You light the fire of love in earth and sky, in heart and soul of every being. O Allah, through your loving, existence and non-existence merge. All opposites unite, and all that is profane becomes sacred again. Ooh. 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 Oh, my dearly beloved, O human, O restful soul, return to your Lord, pleased and pleasing, and enter in my servants, and enter my garden. Ooh. 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 O Allah, O Allah, is it your face that adorns this garden? Is it your fragrance that intoxicates this garden? Is it your spirit that has made this brook a river of wine? Ooh. 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 Hundreds have looked for you and died searching in this garden where you hide behind the scenes. But this pain is not for those who come as lovers. You are easy to find here. You are in the breeze and in this river of wine. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Maintain your stillness and your awareness. Imagine luminous white light flowing down into your crown, your forehead, your throat, your heart, your stomach, your belly, all the way down your spine, your knees, and your feet, deep into the earth, flushing away all veils of darkness, all fears, worries, limitations, lies, deception, being flushed out of your body right now, deep, deep into the earth. My body is rooted, connected to Mother Earth. I am the Khalifa of Allah. I am the steward of Allah. And my body is connected and rooted into Mother Earth. And focus on your breath. And focus on a red rose blossoming and blooming on your navel, your belly button, bringing a warmth, a deep, deep crimson warmth to your belly. Imagine at your heart a pink rose blossoming and blooming, expanding. And imagine a white rose on your head, blossoming and blooming, expanding. My Lord is the best of gardeners. He makes the most infertile land to bloom and blossom to a garden of paradise. That is the grace of God. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we humbly thank you for these priceless blessings, for your divine love, your divine light, divine peace, divine joy, and your divine serenity. To the Prophet Muhammad, to all the holy messengers of Allah, holy angels, healing angels, holy saints, to my spiritual teacher and all the spiritual teachers, we humbly thank you for these blessings, for your divine love, divine light, divine peace, divine intercession, and divine guidance. We thank you. Thank you. And to my higher self and my soul and my heart, thank you for being receptive to the bounty of Allah. And know that all wealth, security, and happiness comes from Him. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Gently move your fingers, move your toes, move your hands and your feet. Continue moving them until your consciousness returns fully into your physical body right now. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and smile.